to Saxthorpe Farms and just finishing up the last of the harvesting contracts. I figured I'd do that in the background because it was kind of similar to the last few videos. So we can do something a bit different today because it feels like I've done a lot of harvesting stuff lately. So we've made about 63,000 off the harvesting contracts, and we gained some canola and some wheat, which is kind of cool. There's 61,000 litres of canola and 20,000 litres of wheat. The wheat will be going in the grain dryer, obviously, but we are now going to take the plunge, and I'm going to borrow a bunch of money so we can buy the 2 fields that I was talking about, because I want to buy them at the end of July because they should go to harvest ready in August. So we're borrowing £750,000 over 10 years, so it's not too painful. I'm not expecting it's going to take us 10 years to pay it off, but we have to make a monthly loan repayment, so we're doing it that way. Field 19, £392,000 with a 25% discount. And then because it's the same owner, or it was, we're only getting a 10% discount on the second one, so 363,000 for that. But that does show that you can stack the discounts above the maximum that we're allowing. They are not the best quality fields, but we're going to own the whole map anyway, and they kind of fit in trying to keep the farm all connected. So we're going to let Courseplay run the crop scanner and get both fields scanned, and then we can do some fertilizing whilst the crop scanner does its thing. I'm going to get the dry oats sold. There is all 3 of the dry crops have a bit of a peak in summer, but the barley and the oats is not particularly high, but the oats is at the moment. So you can see here it's not quite as high as it's going to get later in the year, but for oats it is. So I'm going to get the oats sold because we've got about 100,000 litres of dry oats in storage, so we can get, you know, a decent amount of cash off of this and instantly repay some of the debt. So I think that's a good thing, and the whole reason of growing the crops and selling them is to buy more land at the moment, so kind of makes sense. I did actually pass up on, there was another 7 series that came up in the sales, and I passed on it because we need to focus on expanding and not just buying more of the same. There are other things that I need to get at the moment other than tractors. I could always use more tractors, particularly as there are contracts that we could be doing, but, you know, there are limits to which way I need to focus, and at the moment the focus is on land. I'm still thinking about getting sheeps, even though we've used up the plot of land that I was going to use for them. I'm thinking that we might section off part of one of the new fields and put some sort of sheep enclosure on there. And maybe the bottom of the bigger field, because they are big fields, and, you know, we could start making money from animals at that point. So we got about £158,000 from selling those dry oats. I think there's actually one last little bit to go, so really good payoff there from the field that we harvested and the excess. I think we got some excess from some contracts, so really paid off well, and that means we can pay off one of our loans. So we do have a loan for £150,000. I don't remember what we had it out for, but we are going to repay it. So it might have been for picking up the combine, actually. I think it might have been the extra we needed to get the combine, so that's pretty cool. That's paid for, and yeah, I mean, we've still got about £1.2 million worth of debt, which is quite a lot, but it's going to allow us to make progress. So, and one of the things I like about the loan mod is every month you have to make a repayment. You can't just sit on it. So I've taken over from Courseplay because we're pretty much done. There are just a few little missed bits, and otherwise it was going to do a whole row. So hit the wrong key and sent all the existing soil samples off to the lab, but that's fine. It's going to start them processing, and it means that when we have to send a few more, it won't take quite so long. Yeah, I'm just trying to make kind of best use now to not waste too much. Annoyingly, I did spot later that Courseplay and I both missed a corner of the field, which is just a bit annoying. I'll get it at some point. Probably when we have to rescan this field in like 3 or 4 harvest time or something. So I'm curious. I've obviously been playing this not massively fast because I've been doing quite a lot of contracts, and I'm wondering if you guys are enjoying that way of playing. You know, we don't have animals. I could be going much quicker through the years. So kind of a question, I guess. Do we keep going with doing, you can see the corner's actually right in front of me that I missed. Do I keep going doing lots of contracts and we go at this kind of pace, or do we stop doing contracts and just keep churning faster through, you know, cycling the fields? I'm kind of curious about how that would go, actually, because I've never done that before, and we'd probably get through the years a lot quicker, but the contract money is obviously paying for a lot of things. So this field has awful nitrogen but good pH. So I'm going to leave the pH, but we need to tackle that nitrogen. We've got good crop rotation, so I think we've got a perfect crop rotation. So although the field's not great, with the crop rotation we're going to get a good yield off of it, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to repair the 7230. I'm going to set this up for doing crop spraying. So I didn't realize that I hadn't gone for warrior config on this. I think we would have picked this one up in the sales, so it doesn't matter. But just looking at the options as we scroll through, and we need to add I'm going to add the Azaria scanners. I have never used the integrated ones before, but for a not huge amount of money, we can set this tractor up with some narrows to get perfect fertilization, as long as it's daylight and the crops are well grown, which the crops are well grown, it's daylight, we're good. So we only need to do the cornfield because the other field is soybeans, and soybeans don't need nitrogen, so that's cool. But so I had intended to do this on some of the other fields, but forgot. So we're doing it now, and yeah, we'll get a tiny bit more, you know, and where it needs fertilizing anyway. So we need to do it anyway. So we may as well do it as best we can. And with a field that is not the best soil, again, eking out as much as we can makes sense to me. So in the same vein, I am going to be doing things like mulching. Didn't do that last year, I don't think, but we are going to be doing that this year. I think we do want to try and get as much off the land as we can. I did ponder, as is the way that I do things, going. So I'm just going to take off See and Spray, because we had that issue last time with See and Spray not being very cooperative with actually fertilizing. So I'm just going to turn that off. You know, I guess it's the equivalent of just disabling it in the cab, but in FarmSim you have to go into the workshop and turn it off. It's okay. I have been pondering something. It's been a day today. I'll talk about that in a bit. Mulching. Nope, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, so we had some real world stuff today. It's Monday, which was kind of taxing, and that's why there wasn't a video on Monday, because I didn't get one finished. And yeah, it's kind of left me a little bit mentally drained. I don't know if you have it. One of the ways that I cope with situations like that, and it's how I deal with some stuff at work sometimes, is I have what I call work mode. And that's where I think it's part of the way my brain is, which is nothing diagnosed, but somewhat special, shall we say. I've just realized that I only got 18-meter booms on here as well, which was a bit frustrating. I go into work mode, and that I kind of switch off some of the emotional stuff and deal with facts, and it's weird. It seems to remove some of my inhibitions or nervousness around talking to people that I don't particularly know. And yeah, so that's kind of a useful thing that I have. I tend to use it in kind of professional situations. I use it sometimes doing some of this stuff, more so some of the live stuff. But yeah, so had stuck work mode on. We did the stuff we had to do. Finished that, went for a run, and just kind of a bit mentally drained. So there's a lot going on in life outside of my hobby, and it's kind of nice this afternoon to sit down and do some of this. It's a nice distraction from the world outside. So I'm hoping. What am I up to? I was just checking the other field was soybeans. So I am hoping that tomorrow I'll have a video. I've done a whole load of analysis of the butcher mod. So if you watch Kartek's videos, it's the butchery that he is using on. Oh, we've got some cultivating contracts. I'm going to grab those, and we can maybe send off the 7250 to do one of those for us. Get some cash back in the butchery that Kartek is using on Court Farms on his pig series. And so I've done. I love when you can see two tractors working. It's so cool. Done a whole bunch of analysis of that. Got a nice meaty spreadsheet ready. I do need to make the graphs a bit more presentable, but yeah, it's really interesting. So I'm planning to do a bit of a bit of a mod review, and then a bit of a deep dive on that one, because it's really cool. But it's Monday, and I've prepped all the data, I've prepped the save, but I'm not quite there yet, and I'm in work tomorrow, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get it done on Wednesday morning, and we'll be good. I think it's going to be really good video. I think it'll be really popular. So one of the things that I've noticed that I'll talk about in a moment, because so just having a browse of the sales, because there are some things that I still want to buy. In particular, I want to buy a service truck. So this is by Achimobile, who is part of the farming agency. And it's the field repair truck. So this will do refueling and repair. If you're running production revamp and one of Achim's other mods, it does really clever stuff as well. I'm not running those at the moment on here. But I want something that with doing contracts and having the bigger farm, I need a field service vehicle, particularly if we do end up going back to the Oaks to do more contracts. Having a field service vehicle will be useful. It can tow headers, hopefully, because it's got a hitch on the back. If not, I might tweak it so it can tow headers. It's going to check the soybean field now. The scanning is done, so the pH is okay. I think I'm going to leave it. Crop rotation is really good. We're looking at a good yield off of that field. 112% yield. That should be pretty nice with soybeans. Nice payday next summer, I guess. Yeah, I think it'll be really useful to have something like that. I'm realizing that we need to do some stuff in here, so I'm going to do that first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 24-meter booms back on and refill with fur, basically. I'm realizing on both of my Let's Play series at the moment that I kind of need some sort of field service capability. So on here, it's because we're around the map doing lots of stuff. On Glenlarvan, it's because with DS Agri, they are all around the map doing lots of stuff. And because we have older kit, it seems to need a bit of servicing a bit more regularly. So that field service truck fits perfectly on here. I'm still looking for a solution for DS Agri. So there aren't really one option that I was looking at is the toolbox mod that I used on Calmston. So that's a placeable, but you can pick it up and strap it on vehicles and stuff. So I did look at that. Still considering that. That gives us mobile repair, and then we have got the fuel barrels that we run as a front weight, so that would be an option for that. But yeah, still thinking about that. But do want mobile capability on. I think I'm going to need it in the future on most things. It's not something that I've worried about before, but now with what I know about repair, it's much more important. I forgot to reset the width when I started, and I'm actually wondering, so I did then set it to 24 meters, which is the width of these booms, and it was still leaving ever such slight gaps. So actually what I'm thinking is I am going to do a bit of a swap potentially on here and replace this Kubota sprayer with the Kverneland equivalent, because of the issues that I've had. So the Kverneland one is a Giants one. Now that doesn't guarantee that it's going to be perfect. We know this. It certainly had issues when it released, but I figure there's more chance that it will work. I might test it before I do that, just to make sure. But yeah, this one does seem to have its little quirks, shall we say. Now, we can't blame someone for having quirks. You know, throwing stones in glass houses and all that, but it's yeah, it's definitely something that is kind of frustrating. So I am thinking that I'll probably swap it. I actually only thinking of that as I was editing this video, that maybe I should do that. This is not to do with the working width, but you can see that the bars from VCA are inside the boom, so whatever's, you know, it should work. There shouldn't be any gaps, but I think you see when I turn around, if I show it, that it is leaving small gaps, which suggests to me that it's not just See and Spray that's the problem. So I'm trying to think. I think I have this sprayer on Barley Spring as well, but I've not really put it to work. So I'm not sure if it's playing up on there as well. We'll see. Barley Spring is the series that I play for my patrons. They get exclusive video. They get an exclusive video each week, and now is a really good time to say thank you to the YouTube channel members and the patrons. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are all awesome. Now, if you're interested in any of those, there are links below and stuff. So come back over. Fertilizing is done. I'm going to drop the front tank off because I don't need that. I'm going to unload the fertilizer, and we're going to put a little bit of herbicide in, and we're going to go and See and Spray with herbicide to get the environmental score on the two fields. Just to kind of maximize what we're going to get in the future for selling our crops. And I don't think we're going to be selling anything now until much later in the year, but who knows. Actually, the other question that I've got for you, we have so I'm just re-enabling the See and Spray. We have a cornfield now. Should I combine or silage that? I've got the fermenting silo on here. I have updated it, so it's the version that's on ModHub now, so it will do corn silage. And the version that I had did, because that's what started the edits of it. But yeah, I'm curious. We've got the forage harvester. I'm now running you can see field 26. We've got one of the cultivating contracts going. Yeah, should I combine or silage the corn? So just looking at the weeds, we can see it's at 15 on this field. We'll go in, we'll switch it. In fact, we're on. We're not using any herbicide because there are no weeds. We are up to maximum instantly. Do love that trick, and I don't feel it's too exploity because, you know, it's kind of set up that way because of the John Deere See and Spray stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button. We don't smash like buttons. If you smash it, you have to buy me a coffee. Just going through the same process here in the background. Any comments, answers to any of the questions or whatever, stick them below. If you answer questions, please put a time code, because sometimes it's kind of hard to see what people are answering. And I'll see you next time. Bye.